No invite for you. You can just click buttons.
Yep. I like that little button, man. It makes life so much easier. But I don't understand. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't. And it's very confusing.
Okay. We're just waiting for Ourk to say that he's ready, and then Highblade will start the next map, which is going to be Cloud Kingdom. And there we go.
And the map is Cloud Kingdom. Now, of course, I don't know much about Highblade. Like, he is UK community chat, so that's pretty much how I know him. But of course, Ourk is solid player. He's really good. Fair enough. He doesn't take this game as seriously as he should for someone of his caliber of play, because he jumps between races very often, and it makes your your play a bit inconsistent. And overall, it's I do still call him the better player. So I'm not surprised that Ourk did take game number 1.
I just noticed one thing.
What?
Highblade, which by the
doesn't
way
have
is
his-
spawning here in the top, he doesn't
Doesn't
use
have
the
weakness.
worker auto-split function.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's very interesting. I don't know why, because
Well, I mean, I didn't use that for a long time. Throughout the whole Heart of the Swarm beta, I didn't use it. I didn't use it when Heart of the Swarm was released. I didn't use it for a couple of weeks. Because I had, like, you have this order of sets of motion at the start of the game
Yeah.
you're doing, right? And I was so used to just click my Nexus, hit E, then control idle worker and click it to the minerals, then take 3 workers, point them to the other minerals. I just had this so ingrained that whenever those workers just started running off on their own, it confused me so much that I just messed up my whole opening, and I really screwed up. We have a gas coming down for Ourk really fast. He's going to be following this up with Pool, so he's looking for a very quick speed.
Yeah, and he could go for a Bane and all-in, which is something you do see quite a lot. We do have a hatch first out of Highblade, so far the build order is definitely in Ourk's favor.
Well, you can hold this attack, but
He's pretty much not gonna. He can't get speed. He has to go straight for a Baneland nest, make Banelands, and he'll have to have
Yep.
Spine Crawler and probably the 2 queens on the ramp. to stop
I'd
the
say
fights.
2 spine crawlers even, because this is a pretty wide area
Yeah.
of entrance into your natural, and the 2 queens blocking the ramp. That's the only thing keeping you in the game. If your opponent decides to link Baneling all in you, so once those 2 queens go down, your main is wide open, and it takes only a couple of Banelings and links to get in there, to put you so far behind or break your neck straight up that you lose the game. But we do have the speed going up before the main Baneling nest for Ourk here. Highblades. Yep.
Ourk has taken his guys off gas as well. So
Yeah, he has. So this is not going to be an all-in. He's going to be looking to build an expansion.
there it is.
But Highblade does not know about this. He doesn't know the timing, so he's the one that's going to be playing a little bit defensively. He's already, judging by the lateness of the expansion, knows what happened probably inside his opponent's base. So he's going to be getting a spine crawler. I wouldn't be surprised of getting a spine crawler also in the natural, but it's not all that necessary now.
I
Only.
think I'd like the timing. He could have had it at the natural, but I don't think it's because he wanted to build the spine crawler straight away, so it's done. And then he's probably just going to move it down into the natural. But of course, there was no drone there, so he couldn't make it in the natural to begin with, which is good for him because it probably would have died. But this queen does pop. It can't get surrounded. It does. Oh, great positioning from Ourk there. That single Zerglin right in the corner just stopped him moving, and the queen did get the inject before it died, so not totally worthless. Now we do have to Bane the nest, we do have speed in production, and behind this Ourk is playing perfectly fine himself. He's got 2 guys back in his gas, and his queen is out injecting, so no problem.
Yeah, and now with this, Highblade knows how much sooner that speed kicked in for his opponent, so he knows he cannot move about on the map with his links, at least not until he has a speed of his own. Because if they ever do get surrounded, there's no escaping from Ourk by that point. He is getting a little bit more links. He's getting those 2 defensive banelings right now, so that's good for him.
Very scared. He's actually put all his drones into his main. He's very scared. And he made
Yeah.
another spine crawler. Even though Ourk behind this is playing Mako, he's getting his defensive Baneland nest, I'd imagine. Because, of course, he's expanded himself. He's morphing a spine crawler, so it doesn't look like he wants to be aggressive. And he's already got a nice little supply advantage.
And a drone lead, a huge drone lead at that, 25 to 19.
Nice. 10 more Zerglings in production for him as well. He's got the 2 queens down here. There's none in the main for the injects. And there goes the defensive Banelens. I wonder if Highblade will make offensive ones. No, it doesn't look like it.
I mean, he saw that the natural is saturated more than his base, so he has to know he's behind. I wouldn't be surprised if he decided to go aggressive on Ourk here, but I think he's a little bit too scared for that. 2 spine crawlers in the natural mean that he's going to be sitting tight and sitting pretty and try to get his drone count up. Meanwhile, we do see he is getting +1 carapace. That can be for 2 things, either to mitigate the Baneling attack potential, or preparing for a Muta switch out of Ourk, because he knows Ourk will have Mutas before him.
Yeah.
There's no way he can catch up to him. So getting that +1 armor actually will help him stay alive a little bit more, but I don't think it will be enough. Not with sufficient Muta numbers.
I think he might all in with this +1.
Well, that is also a possibility.
Yeah, he is. As we can see, there's more Zerglings in production, but the big key is the fact that he's producing Zerglings and just produced a lot of them, and he's hiding them in his main, which of course stops Ourk from seeing them. Overlords aren't going to be able to get that without being killed. So I'm pretty sure he is going to all in here. But actually, there's a 3rd being taken, so maybe this is something to fall back on. But unless he's just anticipating a lot of Zerglings from Ourk, and he's like, I want to win this.
Oh my goodness! And
Counter.
Ourk only now sees the amount of Zerglings. He started morphing that Overseer just as the Zerglings were moving past, and he did not see it because of the reduced vision. But here come the Banelings! Not very good trade for Ourk. Most of the Lings are still alive for Highblade, and Ourk, he needs to produce Lings and Banelings of his own, but I think he will be just fine. The 3rd may have to get cancelled, but the Spire is about halfway down. There goes the cancel on the 3rd, and Highblade will be moving into the natural.
Baneland's morphing in for Highblade as well. He does have his own 3rd behind this. His +1 carapace is 2 seconds away. Bam, it now finishes. And he starts his +1. But, there's so many Banelands here for Ourk. The Baneland's now popping for Highblade. Coming into Ourk's natural. 2 spine crawlers being added in to the mix. Of course, once Ourk handles this, he's fine. He's got quite a good gas income. He's got 4 gas. He's got a gas bank, so he can produce, like a bunch of Mutas. And he could probably go kill the 3rd and everything that goes to defend it. But there's so many Zerglings coming out for Highblade. So many Zerglings.
And outrageous numbers of Zerglings. Now Highblade is trying to scout the natural. He sees the amount of Lings. This is all he wanted to know, and he has to make a move now. He cannot wait any longer. But the problem because the Mutas are on the way, but the problem of this map is that once you get this amount of units and this amount of spine crawlers in this choke, it's so defensible by ground that you really cannot break it. You cannot just hurl yourself into that choke and hope that you will break it. You would lose that more than you would gain.
And here it comes. We do have the Mutas, and of course Mutas can target down the Banes much easier. There's so many Zerglings though. And of course, from that point, the 3rd could get taken out here by Highblade. I think it will cancel.
There's the cancel.
He stops targeting it down, and a sick connection on that Bane, and as we can see, the +1 carapace keeps them all alive, which is a really big deal. Now the Mutas did just they went for the Queen, but it ran into the spawn.
Ourk is pulling everything back to defend back home. But so far there are only army trades and no drone kills. Just now the drone kills are starting to rise. Nice hit there by Ourk, cleaning this attack up. 7 drones only killed, and still Ourk is ahead in drone count, and more Mutas are on the way. Screw Zerglings when you have Mutas and your opponent doesn't.
Yeah. Pretty much, he's nearly, he's got 12 Mutas with the +1 flyer attack, which is always nice. 2 more Mutas in production. The Spire for Highblade is only 30 seconds, so still a very long time. Of course, he does have his own 3rd, which gives him more lava, but he doesn't really have the economy where that's super beneficial for him. Oh, and a Zergling run by as the Spines and Burrow, but there is a lot of Zerglings here to defend for Ourk. Of course, Ourk doesn't have any upgrades for his own Zergling, so he has to be careful that he has, doesn't lose these fights. And third, getting targeted down here will get cleaned up or forced to run away as the Banes do come in.
Now, one thing Highblade is doing very well here, he's keeping all the Mutas defensive back home.
Yes.
It's costing him a lot of larva, a lot of army though. And his Spire is about to finish. If we look at the Muta count from Ourk, which his Mutas are just now closing in to deal the death blow to his opponent, he's got 17 Mutas. Highblade does not even have enough gas for that. He's got some Spore Crawlers, but that's not going to save him. The Queen goes down, and now a lot of oh my god, a lot of Overlords will go down along with the second Queen.
One Transfuse does save the Queen for just a second, but there's so many Mutas that the GG gets called, as they can pretty much one-shot Queens, which is